Hey everyone, just as I thought there would be no leaks today, the Axie team released the Horn cards. With these cards, there was definitely a different variety, and even some new effects appeared in this card that hadn't appeared in any leak before. And just as a reminder, please treat these cards just as teasers. Like, these cards are changing, they're testing them right now, and they could be very different from when we actually get to play with them. Alright, let's get started with the Reptile cards here. The first one is Unku, 1 energy, 60 damage card. It says shuffle 1 goo into your opponent's discard pile. So we don't know the mechanic of goo just yet, but obviously if you're putting it into your opponent's deck, it's not going to be a good thing. So we're going to have to see what happens, but definitely taking a different route with Unku and making it more usable. With this much damage, it actually looks like it's going to be used in this meta, which is really exciting for me. Next one we got Scaly Spear. 65 damage, 1 energy, but here it is. Deal 20 more damage for each spear card used this turn. So depending on how much energy you get in Origin, if you get like 2 energy, you're going to be able to do like 2 of these, so you're going to move up the damage to 85 damage. But if you get 3 energy, you can get 105 damage. Of course, you have to draw all the spears like in the first turn or something, depending on how many draws you get. It could change, but this card looks like it has a lot of power. And if you can draw out the other spears somehow effectively, it can be pretty powerful, I feel. 105 damage for 1 energy, that's insane. Next up, we got Sarastas, 1 energy, no defense. It's a secret, and it says target any ally. Next attack against the target is reflected for 85 damage. So basically, it's another secret. It's definitely changing from being a slow card, like a card related to slowness, and they're changing it to be more like a reflect damage card. So if you attack it, you'll reflect 85 damage to your opponent. That's pretty crazy. It's more than a regular attack of 60 damage, so it has a lot of utility on that one. Next one, we got a 1 energy 60 defense card, Scaly Spoon. Secret, it says target any ally. Next turn after the target is attacked, reflect 25% of the shield loss. So this is no longer just focused on ranged cards, it just returns damage in general, but it reflects based off of how much shield loss, so 25%. Definitely a lot lower than right now at 50%, but we're gonna have to see. It definitely looks like it got a nerf, but it might still be very strong in this meta. Next one, we got 1 energy, 60 damage, Incisor, another card related to like speed and slowness. Right now it got changed to become apply bleed for 4 turns. And Masamune recently posted in the Discord that bleed is definitely related, that you'll lose HP when attacking. So he confirmed it. Thank you, Masamune, for letting us know that. So the Incisor now is related to bleed, and 60 damage seems like the standard for damage for 1 energy. Next up, we got a 2 energy card, Bumpy, no defense. It says power. First time I've seen this mechanic before, power. And it's innate, so that means that the card most likely will start in your hand. Those cards are very strong, so whenever you start the game, you'll automatically draw this card. And here's what it says: innate, whenever you play a card in this battle, this Axie gains 10 shield. So whoever you put this on, they're going to be stacking shield that whole time whenever you play cards. So it could be really good for late game, or if you have like cards that can be played really fast, you can build up a lot of armor. And it seems like it's a power. If the power mechanic is something that remains with you, that's going to be pretty crazy. Whenever it says in the entire battle, not even just a round or something or turn, it says the entire battle. So this power is really strong. Shield going up, we'll have to see how strong it really is. But the first time I've actually seen something like this with the power mechanic. All right, next up we got the birds. The first one says eggshell, 1 energy, 75 damage. Apply taunt to this Axie for 2 turns. So the taunt, of course, the taunt mechanic, it's playing exactly like it plays in the current mode, except it does a lot of damage. So we're gonna have to see how this plays out. Definitely a very strong card, and it looks like it's going to continue to be a strong card in this meta. Being able to pull or control your opponent's attacks is a very strong mechanic. Next one, we got Cuckoo, and it's 1 energy, and it says it's a skill, just target an ally. Remove sleep. The next attack of this target this turn deals 50 more damage. So it's definitely an assist card, a skill card. It not only it's one of the few cards that I've seen that actually deal with sleep, and it says next attack on this target deal 50 more damage. So definitely you can amplify and set up like moves with this card. It's very good for that. Adding 50 damage to a regular card. Imagine you use it with a heal card. It's gonna heal a lot more damage. There's definitely more combos with this, but I already see this being a really strong utility card. Next up, we got Trump right here. It says 1 energy, 65 damage. Deal 20 more damage for each trump card used this turn. Similar to the spears, you have to have more of these trump cards. And I really love how they're using these cards now and like giving them really good synergy. Their damage is much higher now in respective of like pick the HP that these Axies have, which we explained is 320. So being able to stack damage like this makes these little combos or like make these things much more powerful. Next up, we got Kestrel. Kestrel was involved with Disable in the current game. Now it's a 1 energy, 50 damage card. It says apply Disarmed for 4 turns. So Disarmed, we don't know what that mechanic means, but it might do something. It looks like it's probably removing either their defense or looks like they're disarming like their weapon. So they might not be able to attack. If that's the case, that could be very, very powerful effect. Almost like the Disable mechanic that we know. So we're gonna have to see how it plays out. Next one, got Winghorn, 1 energy, 65 damage, and it says if initial, this targets the second frontmost enemy. So basically, similar to its current mechanic, it skips the first target and goes to the second one. Very similar mechanic. It continues to stay the same. The damage is like obviously changed just to match, but it's pretty similar. It's a targeting mechanic still. The next card we have is Feather Spear. It's 1 energy, 65 damage. It says deal 20 more damage for each spear card used this turn. As you guys know, Feather Spear is a spear, and so is Scaly Spear. So they both synergize with each other. The only difference is Feather Spear is a bird card, while Scaly Spear is a reptile card. So you can find different combination. Maybe you can make a bird that's using Feather Spear and then using it with a lineup of reptiles that are using Scaly Spear. And like I said, the energy just keeps going up. So if you manage to hit two Scaly Spears or 2 spear cards together, you'll get the damage up to 85. But if you manage to somehow get 3 energy, that's going to go up to 105. 105 for 1 energy. It's so strong, but you have to get lucky with your draws or find some way of being able to draw these cards much more easy. We've arrived at the bugs. First one up, Lagging. It used to be a 0 energy cost card. Now it's a 1 energy cost card, 60 damage. It says apply weak for 4 turns. Weak, if it's a mechanic similar to other ones like Slay the Spire, means that your opponent's damage will be reduced by 20%. I don't know the percentages right now, but that's what it was in that game as a reference. So we're gonna have to see if that's real, but pretty strong effect for only 1 energy. Next one we got is Antenna, 1 energy, no stats. This is Scry, 4 cards, banish. And this is a very interesting mechanic. We haven't seen a Scry mechanic in the game yet, but if we're looking at other games, especially Magic the Gathering, Scry has an effect which says you basically get to look at your next, in this case, 4 cards on the top of your deck, and then you could send as many as you want to the bottom of the deck, meaning that you can get rid of cards to set up combos more easier. And that's a pretty powerful effect. Here we got Caterpillars. Caterpillars is 1 energy, 60 damage, apply fear for 4 turns. So it looks like the bugs are going to be the fear mechanic. There's probably going to be a fear deck made completely. A lot of these cards apply fear, 60 damage, 1 energy, Caterpillars. Definitely very strong and definitely a different mechanic from before. Here we got Pliers, 1 energy, 65 damage, deal 25 more damage to shield. So this one straight up almost is the exact same card, different stats a little bit, but basically Pliers always had to do with doing more damage to the armor. So now it's going to do more damage, and it's definitely the first card you want to use in a combo to get their armor out of the way and then keep doing more damage. Parasite has a very unique art for sure. Very questionable art here. I don't even want to know what's going on there. But it's a 1 energy, 60 damage card. And it says, look at the top 2 cards of your opponent's draw pile. So you get to see what's coming up for your opponent. And sometimes being able to know what your opponent has coming up on their turn can help you prepare for what they're going to do. So pretty interesting card. maybe you can see secrets before they're dropped and stuff. So very powerful effect, I feel, and it's a good effect for the standard damage. So this next card has a lot of potential going for it. It's Leaf Bug, 1 energy, 45 defense card, and it has a very unique mechanic. It says whenever this is drawn, gain 30 shield. So all you have to do is just draw to get this. It's very similar to an enemy, which heals every single time you draw, but I feel this is better for early game, like putting it on a tank, because then you can like just draw cards and automatically gain shield at the start of the game. This is going to be really good. And as you guys know, this Leaf Bug is not the only one in the game. There's another one for the ears. So could it be a potential second 30 shield card like this one? We're going to have to see. It's very strong from what I can see. And as a bonus theory for this card, last week we talked about a card called Square Bite, and that card synergizes really well if your Axie has defense. So this card gains defense without even needing to play any card. And I believe Square Teeth said that you need to use it as the initial card. So the synergy of Leaf Bug, and if there's another Leaf Bug, that's going to be 60 damage of defense, and you add it to 25. That could be an 85 damage card combo right there, with just needing a 0 cost energy card. That's insane. I have no idea if that's how it works exactly, but to me, that's my theory. And like they say, it's just a theory. A game theory. All right, we're getting to the beast cards, the damage cards, you know, the ones that are probably going to make us all sad. Beast cards, 2 energy, 130 damage. Little branch, it says gain 1 rage per 1 alive ally, including summons. So if you happen to make a deck that has a lot of allies, you can really buff up your rage. And here it costs 2 energy, that's the only negative, but 130 damage is very powerful. So rage definitely is going to be interesting. And like I said, you can gain up, depending on how many summons and how that works, you can gain a lot of rage from this. Next up, Imp, 1 energy, 70 damage card. That's really good stats, actually. Costs 0 energy in Fury form. So we haven't really been told how this Fury mechanic works, but they definitely made a reference that Rage is related to it. So 0 energy, Fury form. So whatever happens in Fury form, this will instantly become 0 energy. That sounds really strong. So if you're making a Fury deck or a Rage deck, definitely I feel this card is going to be a staple for those decks. Making any card 0 energy just makes it so strong. Like you could just combo into more things. Next one we got Mary, 1 energy, 65 defense, target any ally. So basically Mary is just a defense card. You can target any ally. So similar to other defense cards we've seen before, I honestly think they're not that strong personally, but seeing that it's a beast card, it does give you a different, if you're really looking for defense, it gives you another part to use for defense. Here we got 1 energy, 65 damage, Pocky, attack random enemy, apply taunt for 2 turns. So it's a taunt card, but you don't get to choose the enemy, and that's very unique. So it's like a roll of the dice who you attack, but the main utility is to taunt people to you. So it's another taunt card, definitely has a lot of damage. We're gonna have to see how it plays out, and it's a beast card, so beast synergy right there. This is one of the most famous cards for beast. Dual blade, 1 energy, 60 damage, apply fragile for 4 turns. So dual blade used to do a lot of damage before. Like it was one of the best damage cards in the game. Now it looks like it has the same damage as everyone else, but the fragile ability, depending on what it is, if it means like you do more damage to the opponent, like let's say 25% more damage on your attacks, it could be very strong, like a very strong combo starter. So we're gonna have to see what fragile means, but if it is like your opponent takes more damage, applying it for 4 turns could be very lethal to your opponent. The last card here is 1 energy, 65 damage, Arco, and this one had a really unique effect. It says, this does not trigger secrets. So this is like the counter to secrets. And if you're playing Arco, you don't even have to worry about secrets, at least when you play this card. The other cards probably will still trigger the secret, but if you need a quick way out of getting triggering secrets, this looks really good. 1 energy, 65 is higher than the standard, so definitely gonna look into this one. If the Axie team's listening, Someone said on Twitter today that the Axie team must love the Aqua cards because they have some of the most strongest mechanics that we've seen. So we're gonna get started here. First one is Babylonia, 1 energy, 60 damage card. Apply weak for 4 turns. Like I said, weak, reduce their damage. So very interesting mechanic. It's definitely switched from our current version. So now it applies weak. So we're gonna have to see how that works. Definitely very defensive if we think it's working like we think. So yeah. Next one we got Teal Shell, 1 energy, no stats, but it says targeted ally gains 20 shield for each card played this turn. So this one definitely is a like it's a definitely an assist card, like someone who assists, a skill card. Clamshell says 1 energy, 60 damage, gain 4 damage boost if this attack causes HP loss of the target. So depending on what damage boosts mean, if it's a percentage or something, let's say it's 5%. This is a 20% increase and stuff for damage. So that could be pretty crazy, a boost. And all you have to do is hit your opponent's like HP. So we're gonna have to see how practical that really is, but definitely has changed, and the art's definitely very interesting. He's like smashing through an apple. And the next card we have Anemone, 1 energy, 50 damage card. It says whenever this card is drawn, heal 20 HP. So this card is almost exactly like the other Anemone card. They synergize well together. If you use both of them, you're going to be possibly able to draw 40 HP, like heal 40 HP just by drawing. And the damage is not that bad. It's a little less than the other ones, but in a closer, actually, like someone who's trying to finish the game, it could be pretty crazy to have that combo of cards. Next one, the art. I love the art for Aranda. Like, so awesome. 2 energy, 120 damage. It says dispel up to 2 buffs on a target. So it actually can remove buffs, and that's a very interesting thing. So far, nothing's dispelled buffs away from people. So there's going to be a card that does that. 120 damage, 2 energy. Seems very solid card. We're going to have to see how strong buffs really are in this game to see how much this utility is going to be needed. This next card I'm going to talk about, I already talked about it on Twitter. You all heard about me talking about. I think this is one of the most broken cards I've seen in the set so far. And it's 1 energy, 50 damage, Showell Star. And art looks awesome. He's throwing his little star, kunai star out here. It says, if a target has no more than 120 HP, kill it instantly. So this card, it's only 50 damage, but it can go up to 119 damage, like worth of damage for 1 energy, and it instantly kills your opponent. If you manage to hurt your opponent's HP a lot, even if they put like 200, a million armor, Showell Star will kill them because their HP is less than 120. So Showell Star, this seems really strong, but any card that can instantly kill like that is insane. And keep in mind, Axies only have 320 HP. If they're less than like 37%, I believe, you can instantly kill them. I think that's way too strong, but we're going to have to see. And last up, we got the plants. The plants, the tanks, we're going to have to see how they do it. 1 energy, 65 damage, bamboo shoot. It says deal 20 more damage for each bamboo card used this turn. So definitely a synergy with bamboo. If you play other ones, similar to the spear cards and stuff, it gains damage based on how many of them you use in that turn. Could make them really strong if you're able to get a lot of them going. Next one, another card that was discussed a lot on Twitter. Beach, 2 energy, 90 damage, gains 75 shield. That 75 shield is going to protect you from a regular attack. That's pretty good, and it gives you 90 damage. For 2 energy, personally, a lot of people think this is really strong. I honestly don't think it's that strong, given that you're using 2 energy to make it happen. But gaining shield, this is more like a traditional card. This is like a throwback or like an homage to our regular game right now, with a card that has not only damage but shield. That's pretty cool. Next card, we have a 1 energy. One of my scholars says it has 70 defense. That's pretty high. It's skill. It's Rosebud. And I said, no. It's a green color. I said, it's a green color. That means it heals. So Rosebud, you can't send it to anyone else, to an ally. So it's just going to work on the Axie that uses it. 70 HP heal. It's stronger than the other versions of it that allow you to move it to other people. But 70 heal is going to be pretty good. All right, so next one we got a 2 energy card, Strawberry Shortcake. Add 2 strawberries to your hand. So we don't know what strawberry means yet, but 2 energy cost seems very, very steep. So these strawberries better be worth it. It has no stats, so depending on what strawberry is, that's the only way to know how strong this card will be. One of the most famous cards, Cactus, has to do with like being slower than anyone else. Here, it's a 1 energy, 65 damage card. Obviously a Cactus. If initial, deal 15 more damage. So this gets up to 80 damage. And it's actually changed to an initial card, which I find very amusing. But it's a plant card as well. So this is the typing, very similar to other cards. But the typing is what's going to matter. Because typing, like, you need certain rules, to, like runes, to make it work. All right, the last card on the set, and I really love the art for this one. This is really cool. It's a 1 energy, 50 damage card, Watermelon. Whenever this is drawn, heal 20 energy. So this is like Anemone's like little brother. Like, obviously you can't play this with the other Anemone cards, but it's definitely very strong. It has a heal mechanic, and I love the art. It's like a machine gun. You're like machine gun firing. It almost makes it feel like it should be a multi-attack. But definitely an alternative to Anemone if you're looking for one. So those were all the horn cards for the set. Definitely a lot of variety, like I said before. Some crazy effects in these cards. And I'm just looking forward to seeing the last 2 cards. The last 2 parts that remain are the eyes and the ears. We have never seen what these cards could be like, but it's going to be very interesting to see how they work with everything else. Before, we only needed to worry about 4 parts, but now we're gonna have to worry about all 6 parts, and that's gonna spread a lot of variety in decks. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out tremendously. I've been seeing so much love from the community lately, and it just really motivates me to continue to provide this content and share our game to others around the world. So anyways, that ends for this video. Take care, and I'll see you guys all next time.